As you have seen, Mini Controls doesn't have any caption or labels by default, and you need to type a text before or after them to clarify what they are for. For example, we can type a text before the first text box to show that it is supposed to get a first name and write last name before the second text box to show that it is supposed to get last name of the user. This works fine for normal users, but we have some users that may have some disabilities. Fortunately, we have assistive tools that helps disabled people to use websites. These assistive tools read the content of a web page. To make it possible for assistive tools to read the content of our web page in more meaningful way, we should use some special tags like labels. We can use label tags in two ways. In the first way, we put the text and the control related to each other in the content section of a label tag. For example, we can here write label and put the text and the control, which are related to each other, in the content section of the label. Now, assistive tools will understand that first name is the label of this text box, and they express this text box in a much meaningful way for users. Another way to use label tag is just put the text in the content of a label tag. Then you need to assign an ID for the control you want to label it. Let's label it L name. And then add for attribute for the label and assign the ID of the control to the for attribute of the label. Now, assistive tools will understand that last name is a label for a control whose ID is L name. So they establish a relationship between this text and this control. We use the second method when there are some other tags between the label and the control. For example, you may want to organize your form with the table tag. In this case, you usually put label in one cell and put the control in another cell, like this. Now, as you see, we have other stuff between the label and the control. So we cannot put all these together in the content section of a label form. And actually, the second method, which assigning an ID to a control and writing the name of the control, the ID of the control in the for attribute of a label tag, is more common way to define a label for control.